If you've been struggling lately with all of this energy, high frequency light we've been receiving, these DNA activations, you are not alone. There are a lot of you out there that are really feeling this, and it feels like maybe you're really suffering in this energy. Could even feel like you've lost your way to some extent, but you are not alone. We are being asked right now to transmute a lot of this density to really raise its frequency. And we're also bringing into the fold a lot of the collective energy. So we are doing what we're here to do. So you are encountering this density, and it manifests itself really as like a concrete wall right in front of you. That's almost what it feels like. And the more you try to get through it, the more you try to move forward through it, the more you're going to be in resistance. What we want to do in these situations is really take a few steps back. So very important. It's very thick right now. Again, feels like that concrete wall. How are we going to take steps back and really create that space? That's what we're going to talk about in this video. We come here with this mission, and the mission is really kind of moving into full-blown status right now as all the density within the planet is being released. That's a manifestation of our density being released, right? We are one with the planet. So we're all experiencing this together. Now, many people who aren't awakened to this process, to their divinity, to their higher selves, are running around in unconscious mode. They're running around in programming. We have the ability to bring awareness to our programming and feel into that, but sometimes we get caught up a little bit in the thick fog. And right now that thick fog is really manifesting as like a brick wall, right, or a concrete wall. So when we continue to try to move forward the way we've always moved forward, it's like we're trying to push that concrete wall. And a lot of our energy moves into that. And the more we try to do that, the more discouraged we become and the more we suffer. Okay. But I want you to remember that you are here to alchemize this density. That wall that you're feeling, that suffering, that heaviness is energy that you are being shown to lean into a little bit and to fully feel it. So we don't want to push into it. We want to lean into it. When I mean leaning into it, we want to feel it. Okay. So we kind of take a step back from that trying to push through it, and we reverse that and we just lean into it and accept it and feel it. Okay. When we feel this density, the mind is going to try to create escapes for us. It's going to create distractions for us, which is great, maybe short term. But when we look at it from a longer term perspective, we really have that as an underlying program. It's like a virus in a computer program. Okay. You don't really experience it or see it, but it's there and it's dragging your frequency down. Okay. So take a step back. We want to be able to create a little bit of space here. We want to breathe into the physical body so that we could first detach from that heaviness, from the fog. As soon as you do that, you're going to feel yourself align a little bit. You're going to allow some of that high frequency light that is activating within your body. That's the very thing that's causing this wall, this suffering, this heaviness. You're going to feel that a little bit, and that's going to start to guide you. So when we could feel that and get into that high frequency energy, we could sit in there and cultivate that. We allow that to fill our being. That's why it's so important to take a few moments, hit that pause button, and breathe when we're really feeling stuck, when we feel like we're up against that solid wall and just can't move forward. The mind is trying to find ways through it, ways forward. A lot of times that's literally feels like we're pushing it. And again, that's where energy goes. We get very tired, fatigued. We lose our motivation, our momentum, those types of things. Get it back into the body. You need to learn that hitting that pause button is okay. Okay. It breaks that cycle. It short circuits that cycle of resistance and that doing constantly with no end game in mind. Okay. Because that's what happens when we get into the suffering. We'll try to pull ourselves out of it by distracting ourselves and doing and doing and doing. It's kind of like mindless eating when you get bored, right? To distract yourself from the boredom, maybe you'll go mindlessly eat. Same type of thing. But the longer we hang in that energy, the more our energy gets drained. Our focus goes into that. Bring it back in here. Fully feel your body and allow yourself to be present with it, and close your eyes and breathe. And you're going to feel a shift. You're going to feel a light come forward, a lightness come forward. And once you could do that, when you look out, now you have space and you can perceive that brick wall that you felt you couldn't get through. You're literally going to feel that start to dissolve. That's the light moving through the density. It's literally poking holes in the density, the dense energy within your body. So think of it as that wall starting to crumble. That's what it's going to feel like. And your energy is going to start to flow again. Your momentum is going to start to move forward, and you're going to regain some clarity on what you need to do. Now, maybe what you need to do is do nothing and just rest. That's a lot of what's happening right now, guys, with this energy. We've been just so overamped, like an overcharged battery. Sometimes we just need a ground, and we need to rest and hit that pause button. We could be so much more productive when we give our bodies time to rest. The mind thinks because we're not doing anything, we're not being productive. The being productive is the actual resting, because if you can operate and move forward in life from an alignment with your soul purpose and your soul's energy, you're going to get monumental things done that are in alignment with your life path. Okay. If you're going to constantly be in that mental energy of doing for the sake of doing to satisfy some sort of a limiting belief, then your energy is going to continue to drain there, and you're not going to be in tune with your intuition. So by slowing it down, pulling it in, stepping back from that brick wall, you're going to literally dissolve, break down that brick or concrete wall. And your light is going to come forward, your intuition is going to come forward, and your mind that has been overthinking lately because of the charge in the mental body from the light we've been receiving, that mind is going to start to slow down. So very important to use your breath. As I do this daily, because I get into the same stuff where I'm not feeling productive, I'm not doing, and then the mind starts thinking of things just to do so that I could satisfy myself and say, oh, I'm doing something, right? Well, I take a breath, I get into the body, I step away from that wall that has been blocking me, okay? And all of a sudden the divine energy flow is restored, and it gets up here, and ideas come through, and motivation comes through, momentum starts to come forward, okay? And then those are the building blocks. And as you start to drift out of alignment again, maybe we get another energetic wave, we have more activations, whatever it may be. We get a block here in the solar plexus. Could be a number of things. You take a few breaths and you get it back inside, and that will slow the mind chatter down and pull you away from that concrete wall. You see, when we create that space there, we have a greater perspective of the landscape. Think about it. When you're constantly trying to push forward into something and there's no space there, you don't have awareness there of what's happening, you can't see. You can't see. You're like blindfolded. You have no perspective, or a very narrow perspective. So when we can breathe in and create that space, slow down the mind, it drops the energy back in here, drops the awareness back in here. And that's like hitting a button, pushing a button that releases your divine energy flow. And all of a sudden, this comes out here, and now you have a greater perspective. Does that make sense? So know that the suffering that you're experiencing is something that needs to be healed. It's an opportunity to bring presence forward, to bring awareness forward and create that space. And as you do that, you're going to light it right back up. You're going to light it up, and it's going to just blast through that wall. That wall is there because you have so much high frequency light. Your higher self, your divine soul energy is come into your body, and it is trying to move up, and it has encountered density. That's the wall. Very, very simple. So let's do what we came here to do. Let's create that space. Let's ground our soul's energy into the body and into the planet. Let's take that step back and increase awareness, bring more consciousness forward. Okay, we're making the unconscious conscious, bring that forward and continue to breathe and facilitate movement of that energy up and down our central channel. And again, that wall is going to dissolve. You're going to be able to do this whenever you start to feel that mental energy charge up again. Bring it back in. Just take a few breaths in, and that's going to do it. It makes a world of difference. I do this all the time. Give it a try. Let me know if it's worked for you. Okay, I want you to think about this. Breathe in. I've got breathwork videos on this channel you could go back and look at. Take a few breaths and let me know how that helps. I wanted to mention that I am launching or just launched an intensive healing program, jam-packed with over 55 hours of coaching. Okay, so if you're finding you're having difficulty with an overactive mind, you're finding trigger points throughout your day that you're struggling to get out of, definitely check it out. I'm going to put a link below to the program. I'm offering a free 15-minute consultation call, an exploration call, to go over what the program entails. It's in 2 phases. Phase 1 is 6 weeks of incredibly intensive. Phase 2 is the next 6 months of coaching as well. So if you really want to do the work, dive in and get over the hump once and for all and really just open things up, definitely check that out and book one of those calls. I'll get on with you and we'll go over a few things and see if it's a fit for you. I'm really excited about it. Also, I'm offering a free guided meditation, heart chakra activation meditation on my website. If you haven't received that already, go ahead and jump on over and make sure you sign up for that. If you know anyone that this video can help, please feel free to share it. I would greatly appreciate it. Give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Thank you so much.